And it is that weekend, Keith. Of course, our Christmastide Stakes Day weekend. These last two racing days right before the Christmas break. You looking forward to the holiday?
Absolutely. A little shortened week, abbreviated 2-day week here at lovely Laurel Park, getting ready for the holidays, no doubt about it. But yeah, and they've hit us with some good racing, some tough challenges ahead of us. And Sunday, it was a real scramble late.
Yeah.
Hence, we've got a late pick 5 carryover over
do.
13,000 for this card today. We had some good prices within our picks, and as we talked about, as I always say, give you my 4. I know I'm being redundant. I'll tell you if I like a horse on top. If I got anything 5, 6, 8, 12, 20 to 1, please bet those horses to win in place. I mean, and we saw it with Lacey Gaudette's horse the other day.
Yes.
Bob Gamber late got it done. We said it's not holiday time. Yeah. So you got to kind of take advantage of what we're going to get. Because a lot of times you can't adjust the track and start playing a certain way. I leave here. I've got picks dialed up for a certain thing, and then you've got a rail bias, speed, whatever. Who knows? But that's how we approach my picks when I throw them out there. So a little guidance in that. We've got a beautiful day today, though. It's, partly sunny.
Yeah.
42, a little chill in the air, but I'm looking forward to it.
And there we have it. Track is fast, and of course, no turf here. Winding up, still a little bit of green to match with that Christmas holiday spirit. Of course, as we dive into this 9-race card on Friday, starting off with the early pick 5. Of course, in this maiden claiming 12-5, going a mile on the dirt for the straight 2-year-old filly. Scratch in the 1, the rail horse, a new rail horse now in Cappadocia. But you go with Bacall on top for Carla Morgan, gets the blinkers on, and Johan Rosado on as well on the outside.
Yeah, Cappadocia drawing the inside. Sometimes at this mile, it's a little tricky coming out of there. You got to be tied on. Looks like the speed is the deuce here for Jonathan Maldonado. I'm going to go outside. You're going to use Bacall into the mix. Second-time starter for Carla Morgan. Have to be at Greenmount Station watching this horse's race and debut on a weekday up at Parks, and didn't run terribly bad. Some horses could close on that track that day, a muddy sealed surface. I thought made a pretty good wide middle move. It just dropped inside, churned on late, didn't quite sustain like I thought she would sustain. But you've got a sibling by Holy Boss, broke its maiden going long on the turf, topped at a 68 on the dirt. That works for me. I think has the staying power with these 2-year-olds bottom level to get the mile distance. It's going to be a grinded out kind of a race here. We'll take a shot with Bacall. The road goes through the 2. Cappadocia, talk about that line. Last time got caught in a duel. I think we'll take this field a long way. Interesting firster here for the 4. Chavetta, I thought, for Robbie Bales. This horse is a half to King Cuvée, that we've seen run around here. Galloped on the turf, breaking the maiden, but also ran okay on the dirt recently. So it gives me a little bit of hope. Sluggish works, but looks like it's been long all along for Chavetta. Looking at those 3/4 works for Robbie. And I'll toss in the 3, Cara in the City for Mancia. The barn just keeps going. 4 winning siblings in this family, including a route winner. But let's take a shot with the 10, Bacall in the opener.
Outside to inside, as Keith used to go 10 through 2, 3, 4 in race number 1. Race number 2 talks about that early pick 4. Keith, let's see what you got for us here today. Maybe a little Christmas gift leading up into the weekend.
Knocking on the door with these. We're really close. Maybe you've added a horse in or here or there to get it done, because we kind of led you right to the promised land almost, and then you just got to get a little extra help, maybe a couple of extra bucks in that ticket to get it done. But this is a tough little sequence, I thought. 1-2-8 to get you started, a little price with In Good Trouble at 10-1 morning line. Race 3, 3 deep again with the 5, the 6, and the 10. Band Camp. One time at band camp. Remember that from them? Okay. Race 4, 1, 2,
There's
6,
a reference I
8,
got.
9. There you go. We're getting closer. And we're going to single Ace 9, 9 in the 5th for a $22.50 ticket.
There we have it. Keith Busel to kick off that early pick 4 in this claiming 10,000 for the girls 3 and up, which have never won a 3. Let's see how many pop culture references I can get from you for 2024. Let's hope. Here's hoping for these girls 3 years old and up, going 3/4 of a mile on the dirt. Keith, you have the number 1, the rail horse, in good trouble for Bernard Dunham and Wesley Ho.
No, a tricky race. I would say that the 8, your top selection, is probably the horse to beat getting back on a fast track. Shiny Slam. But this horse intrigues me. In Good Trouble, a 4-time winner, as is Shiny Slam. Bernie Dunham, when he brings horses here, you kind of got to pay attention. He's had some good luck over the last couple years. Had a really nice starter horse in Super Garner. You probably remember that one. This horse gutted it out 3-horse field last time at Penn, but that third-place finisher came back to run a big number. Me Darling Kathleen was 68. I think, and now a 4-time winner is that one. This horse has positional speed in a race that doesn't have a slew of pace, and I don't think it necessarily needs to lead. So there's a good price shot there for you in good trouble at a 10-1 morning line.
There's a stab, and of course you mentioned the number 8 on the end outside already, Shiny Slam, Claudia Gonzalez, Jeremy Laprida. You also go with the 2 and the 3 underneath in Ice Cube Baby and Sansa Ariel.
Yeah, video of Ice Cube Baby. This one makes the drop for the Frocks. Issues, gate issues, yes, they've kind of really hindered this horse. You see it a slew of races. You bet Ice Cube Baby, you're
Right.
going to have to understand that this is a very good chance of this horse coming out of the gate a little bit slow. But the drop in class and this little middle move against Better, Winky just kept on going. It's going to widen in here, goes clear. But I thought all in all made a pretty good recovery. This group, capable at 6 furlongs, just not to really panic and rush, let the race develop a little bit. And I think Ice Cube Baby will bring a finish here in race number 2.
Well, as you mentioned, Keith, this is exactly why you go a little bit wider on your first leg as well. But Sansa Ariel from Mikey Gorham, Jamie Rodriguez comes back on this one at the appropriate level.
Yeah, stayed on that left lead. Rode a pretty good part of the racetrack last time. Again, we'll be up there somewhere mid-pack trying to move it. Will she have the strongest finish? It's a question mark. I got a couple other horses in here that might have bring a little bit more that last eighth of a mile, but I'm not going to discount her. No, at all. Not with Rodriguez. 1-8-2-3 in the second. Irish Lace, interesting. Fig not there, but beat the right kind. Beat an established horse in that Viking Queen. That's a horse that's been okay, won quite a few races. So this horse might be another underuser for Rudy Sanchez, Salomon designated hitters. We've talked about how good that combo's been over the last few months.
And we'll see how that turns out in race number 2 for Keith Fusto. Race number 3, his second leg of his early pick 4, is a maiden claiming 12.5, going 3/4 of a mile on the dirt for the 3, 4, and 5-year-olds. Keith, you have the number 10 on top, Bandcamp, as mentioned in American Pie, and also in Annette Eubanks' barn for Angel Cruz on top, and has been kind of staying the course here. And this is the second time coming back to the sprinting distance today.
Hasn't been seen since May. A little concern there, but the drop. Looking at some of the flow in here, I don't know. A horse like Ruffner scares me. Could kind of get out there if it clears early. Comes out of a really fast internal race on the 26th of November. But I think Bandcamp is going to be set up. Reported first-time gelding, running against the right kind horses that have come back to run well.
Sure.
This barn, I respect. They do well. Rising Sun, somewhere from mid-pack. I don't think he's quite got the speed of a couple of these other horses, but I think he'll bring a finish today here with Cruz.
Let's talk about your exact selection in the number 5, the last jump start for Marius Ray Jr., Georgie Hernandez. Let's rewind back to that last effort back at this 12.5 level.
Again, has an issue of falling pretty far back, but finishes up, I thought, here pretty well on the 26, shifts out, closes up, only beating a length and change. When it's all said and done, comes running here pretty well late. Getting the extra 16th of a mile is going to help. I think there even might be a little bit more flow in here.
Agreed.
And second off the claim has been a profitable move for Mario Soria. We're going to look at this stat here the last 2 years on the dirt. 10 for 54, a 19% clip, 18 for 54 in the money. ROI 274. That's pretty good. Now, with the maidens, it hadn't been quite as good, but we're going to take a shot today that things are going to set up for the 5, the last jump start, and Georgie Hernandez to make a run into it. Battle of a Stone interests me a little bit. Only time on the dirt was a little bit protected late, a fade. This is going to be first time blinkers on the dirt, a barn change here for Battle of Bastogne. Plenty of dirt breeding there. Half the post time.
Yep.
What time? No. What's the other one? What does it take?
Yep.
That's the other horse that's been pretty good. So there's definitely dirt in this family. 10-5, 6-2. Ruffner looks to me like the speed of the speed. If Moonset doesn't break, Moonset's another one. The Frock horse has had a little issues coming out of the gate. Made a pretty good move, 2 back, looked like a winner last time out chasing fade. We'll see if this one's got to come out, if it's going to he's going to get it done today.
Only one way to find out there in
Yes.
race number 3. Race number 4 kicks off that Rainbow Pig 6, just giving you a little bit of a set-down structure here for this ticket that we have going on. First leg, first and third leg, races 4 and 6. I go 5 and 8. Race number 5, 5, 7, 8. Race number 7, I thought that was kind of the biggest opportunity to go a little bit wider, to have a little bit of room there in that. As I'm scrolling, wow, 13 horses in race number 6. Race number 7 is that allowance optional 40, going a mile. I think that's plenty competitive, and you also kind of get a little bit of a bang for your buck there, because that one also includes the 1A as well on the ticket. 1, 2, 10, 11 single in race number 8 on the 1 Mission Beach. We'll talk about that horse in a couple of minutes. And then 6, 8, 9, $28.80. We'll dive into that a little bit more on the afternoon show, but let's get back to that first leg, which is a claiming 40, which have never won the 3 for the 3-year-olds, going 7 furlongs on the dirt. Scratching the 4, Guapo again. Scratching the 10, Capital Conquest. Keith, you and I both go with Uncaptured Storm here, back in the barn of Anthony Ferry, I believe for a third time with J-Ron Barbosa.
I want to give her, they like Uncaptured Storm, and they're liking what they're seeing. Now it looks like he's in the best form of his life. This is an 8-time winner. A bunch of these looking for their third victory. Disputed Claim with 3 wins. It's the 7 furlongs that's a little bit of a concern, but this horse is sharp. He showed it, at Timonium, up on the engine at 6.5 there.
Right.
So there is there's a couple pretty quick horses in here. I think this horse is going to be settling back maybe a little bit further back, maybe 7 or 8 out of it, leaving the 3/8 pole.
Sure.
But I think we'll ramp up and stoke up a rally here in race number 4 to get them late. The 2 Frightenland, I think, coming back. Usually you see the Munnings, and they love the off-track. This horse had a little trouble early, just got discombobulated, never kick. I like this horse sprinting and making the moves. Had some good races at 7/8 of a mile. Another one that's going to make that run from mid-pack. Amity Road. This is going to make the rider Horacio Caramanos on the 6 Amity Road. Just facing really fast horses in Brother Conway Childers last time out. A little bit of a freshening. 7/8, worries me a little bit. I would like him better, I think, at 6. But I think he's got that positional speed to lay close, leaving the 3/8. Make the initial move. Let's see if he can kind of keep going. It's 7 furlongs. Disputed Claim. Good article on Disputed Claim in the Racing Biz. Teresa Gennaro, I think, wrote. You might want to check that out. That was an interesting little story about this claim for 1,000 Watts Racing Stable. Speed, definitely inside. Will be in position, but we'll have to deal with a horse like Swifty Devil, who was super sharp in last, and maybe sustenance from the outside.
Race number 4, he goes 8, 2, 6, 1 for Keith Fustel. Race number 5 is a starter allowance. Also starts that late pick 5, and as Keith mentioned, we have a nice carryover, just over 13 grand that we will get to there starting in race number 5. And of course, that is a 1.16 on the dirt for the 3-year-olds and up, scratching the 1, 11, and 13. The 12 runs. The 12 is Anti-Poison. Keith, you and I go with the number 7, Ace 9, 9. Of course, let's take a look at that last win on the offgoing.
Some horses in here that have been on pretty good rolls of late. Paradise Pride, Ace 9-9. Ace 9-9 got the better of Paradise Pride the last time they ran on the 19th of November. This is the 3rd of December, so Ace 9-9 has had a race since. And again, Barbosa got very good position and took the coaxing at about leaving the far turn 3/8 pole. I like it when horses then can kind of sustain like that. Sharp right now is Ace 9-9 for Bob Beck and David Howard. Not a whole lot of speed, just to the inside. I think Money in the Banksy will go ahead and go. The horse immediately to the inside. But then again, should get position. I think an inside trip is going to work. Inside-out trip is going to work here for the 7. Ace 9-9 keeps it rolling, paired up really good numbers, and we've seen it in this barn, and they can keep on going.
One that has also kind of been kept going, has slowed down just a touch, is Paradise Pride, who you have underneath Jamie Ness, Jamie Rodriguez, your Stone Cold Speed in this field here today, and the number 5 Formal Order at 10-1 for Billy Campbell.
Whoever made the huge show bet last time they were lucky.
Yes.
I thought this horse, was hounded. Was going to just pack it in, but you know what? He dug down deep. He showed some heart to hold on for 3rd there. We had a couple horses to show there. Would have been some nice payouts, but no. I just think, again, he's in very good form. I think he's got the ability to sit just off of the speed of Money in the Bank. See, I don't know if he wants to go ahead and get tangled up super early with him. We'll see. Maybe he takes him right to it. But the form, he just maintains it, and he's going to be staying around a long way in here. Mile and 16th in race number 5.
We see pretty similarly here, 7856 for Keith in race number 5, and we will be right back after this commercial break to talk about the rest of Friday's card, kicking off that Jackpot Super High 5.
Thoroughbred Racing is taking vital steps to make our sports safer. These include the use of independent veterinarians, strict anti-doping and medication controls, and a single national authority empowered to create uniform standards and enforce reforms. With each step, more data is gathered, accountability demanded, and progress made as safety takes the lead. Visit ntra.com/safety for more.
Welcome back here in the start of not only the late pick 4, but the Jackpot Super High 5 as well. Here in race number 6, claiming $10,000 for the 3-year-olds and up, which have never won it too. Keith, you and I see this a little differently. Not actually, not so much. Not
closer
crazy.
than what I would have thought.
Same, because I thought, as per usual, as you can expect, race number 6, that coin Jackpot Super High 5 race is always going to be a little tightly competitive, and we follow. But here, scratching the 14, you go with the number 8, Ashley's Ring for Elliott Sullivan, Jamie Rodriguez on top, returning back to the dirt. First time going through this distance on the dirt.
Elliott Sullivan, coming in here, stable, I think, up at Fair Hill. Bruno Schickendans, the owner, we've seen years back, was a major presence all the time. I think Michael Wright might have been the trainer going back, those familiar silks, the red and white silks. But, this horse definitely, I think, is going to be okay on the transition from the synthetic to the main track. You look bottom side, 2 other siblings can run on the dirt. One of them's a 5-time winner. You look at the race, there's not a ton of speed. I think Cora's Choice, maybe Mail Call will go. But I look for Ashley's Ring to kind of take to the dirt, stalk, and pounce.
Sure, and there we have it. You also go with the number 10, Cora's Choice. You just mentioned John Walters, Martino Rojas. You also have the number 3, Goodbye Kyle, underneath for a price for Corrales and Mena.
Yeah, we've seen this movie before with Corrales, got the horses from Jacobson, and first time Corrales is good. It's a profitable angle. A little excuse at Finger Lakes back in October against a lone speed type in PJ's rider, but this horse, she was showing, looked like she was going to be any kind, had a lot of ability in debut, and everything gets kind of went south. Maybe a little barn change, a little regrouping here to make a run from mid-pack for Maine. I'll take a little shot. I mean, we've seen horses like Velvet Ghost come in here, that was first time for him and flourish. So I'll take a little shot with the 3, Goodbye Kyle. And talking about Cora's Choice for John Walters, just kind of out of condition last time, in a 3 in life, now back into a 2 in life. I think it's going to work. 7/8's a little too far the last time she ran over this track, but was very good 3 races back. Got the sharp comment. I like that. I think she's going to have to deal with Mail Call. I believe she could separate on the turn. You're going to have to catch her, I think, from the 8th pole home.
8-10-3-9 for Keith there in race number 6, the late pick 4 in the Jackpot Super High 5. Race number 7 is this allowance optional 40, going a mile on the dirt for the 3-year-olds and up, scratching the coupled entry in the 1 Helium and scratching the 8 Jump for the win. Keith, you have the 1A on top, and Uncle Irish. Let's go ahead and take a look at that effort last time out on the off-going.
Yeah, December 4th at Parks, and there's another time I watched this race and was kind of against him. He'd run okay on an off track. This is maybe a little bit softer group of some of these other races he's run in Maryland, but he really relaxed off the pace down to the inside. Then he worked himself outward and just was able to kind of rest command here, upper stretch, and go away. So
chugging along.
Yeah, and when he's right and it looks like he's moving back towards a top effort, he can sit off some quicker fractions. We've seen it in the past over this track, going the 1-turn mile against some good horses. He's dealt with Accelerator, Iwan, and those horses like that. The speed is signed on here. I know Scratchy, but 7-11. Supreme Law can be laying fairly close. Going to lead, obviously. Burks is still in here, right?
Yes.
He just loves going right out to the front and battling you. So if he's as sharp as what I think he's kind of moving back to that good race, Uncle Irish can kind of sit a couple lengths off of it, move into it. Armando R, I think, is finally going to get a setup that he likes. That December 1st track, speed, run-off winner and feeling woozy. I'm not worried about that third off of break. I like the flow. 1-turn mile. I think he comes running today. If he's going to get it done, this is the day to do it.
It was hard for me to not leave Burks off of my ticket as well. So there we have it. You also go with It's Viper underneath and the number 9, Curlin's Malibu for Billy Adkins, Gene Avello, 20-1 on the morning line.
Just a shot. This horse, just you look at, he's going to be $1,000,000 again because they just probably aren't going to bet him. But you know what? He's had 4 starts at Laurel. 2 seconds, 2/3. He likes the track, and he didn't make a pretty. He rode the good part of the track last time, but it's just a horse for course kind of angle at a big number to help you enhance your prices. 7's 11. Man, he's been really good. A couple really good efforts at 7/8 of a mile. The 1-turn mile. I know it's only extended an 1/8, and he looks like when he's going to the wire at 7/8. He should beat this field. This is a tough test for him. He's going to have to be tied on with the pressure that I think he's going to feel. And he rode, for those victories, he kind of rode the waves of the racetrack those days. Let's see. I'm a fan of the horse. I think he's got a ton of talent, but the mile might, at a shorter price, I got to go elsewhere.
Fair enough. He's tried it twice. I'm just kind of giving him one more try, but I can definitely see the 7. And as you mentioned, you don't think it's a big deal, but that second wire it kind of seals the deal there for the big differential. Keith Fusel 1A 7-11-9 in race number 7. Race number 8, an allowance optional claiming 62.5, going 3/4 of a mile on the dirt for the straight 2-year-old. Scratch in the 6, scratch in the 7. Keith, let's talk about your top selection in the number 3. I know map for Michael Savaggio Jr., Horacio Caramanos.
Yeah, as money showed both times. Ran well, debut, got off poorly, was put to a ride down inside, mid-turn, and just worked outward. Looked like a winner. Got nailed at the wire. Next time out, breaks the maiden over a horse that came back again to win by a big number, by 6. But even in that race, Kelly, I was watching that race. He moves up. He had this horse measured. He's got a touch of like loaf in him. Like he just, when he gets right up that last horse, does he really want to follow through? I think the ability is there. This is a good family. I look back into a couple really good runners, some good sprinters. And I just like the setup in here. This one horse is going to take a lot of play. We'll show the rerun. I guess we're going to show the Del Mar debut. But I know Map. Showing the ability to come from off the pace, which a lot of these horses haven't, bodes well. I think he makes a run into it, might pull a little upset. All the money's going to come in, I believe, here on Mission Beach. First time for Brittany Russell. Sent over here, was out in the Baffert barn, and wouldn't you know it, we got a race when I was out there calling the chart.
Were you
really?
Yeah,
we called this chart. We got to see this debut live and in person about, 100 or so feet away. But it's a good run. Prompted the issue, took all the play 3-5, and just grinds it out and beat a pretty good horse. I want to say that was a Keith DeSormo runner, next level, second-time starter. That horse had gone on to run pretty well. A couple of those other horses were okay. Thrown to the Wolves, the next, a grade 1 hopeful, grade 3, Bob Hope off a little bit of break. Again, though, he's got to be out of there and tied on because the horse just to his outside. Uncle Cat's really fast. Force of Justice is quick. One-way traffic. He's got to avoid issues that first 1/8 of a mile. He gets a chance to relax. He may be able to just shift out and just might be that good and wear these horses down at a short number. I'll take a shot with the 3. And Nancy, made my day. Why not? Another one's going to be a little bit of a price here. We do have a couple scratches for Susan Cooney, but jumps up, runs a big one in October. We haven't seen, but comes in here for the work. That was an old Stan Salter act. You see Susan Cooney, she'd bring these horses up to get the work over the track, meant business. And you know what? They usually fired. I think it has the ability as well to kind of chase and move into it here today in race number 8. But all eyes, I guess, will be on Mission Beach for Brittany Russell. Myers will be on the 3 I know map to come running.
There we go. Keith Fusel 3-1-4-2 in race number 8, our feature race of the day, and our finale here on Friday is going to be a claiming 10,000, which have never won 2, going 1 mile and 16th on the dirt. Scratch in the 3 practical sense. Keith, you go with the rail horse. Succeed. It's kind of a trend for you today. I just noticing on the rail. Succeed. Mario Saray Jr. 10-1 with Georgie Hernandez.
I just thought I'd take the horse that's lost more races than anybody here, right? Well, 1 for 27, but you got some 1 for 20s in here. You got a bunch of them. Succeed. Hey, man, maybe he'll succeed today. Second time off the claim. We showed you the angle before. It's been a profitable one. Reaching maybe a little bit, but a little trend here. This horse, when it goes from a sloppier sealed surface to a fast track, wet track to fast track, has 3 times, has run well. So take a shot here from the inside with our man Georgie Hernandez in the nightcap. He's been good to us in the nightcap. I think I'll know by about the time they hit the half-mile pull. He can't be. He's got to be within 4 or 5 lengths and be able to stoke up a run. Prince Fire, I think, will be tough. The other Saray horse, maybe a little early move, a couple races back down inside. Maybe gets this outside stalking trip today and gets it done. But 1-6-4-2. There's a price horse, a Russian to the circle. Forest Boys, we know we're going to get ground saving ride and a little bit of finish out of that long shot there today in the ninth. A little bit of a scramble. I was all set to bet against Practical Sense at 6-5, but is now scratch, which is going to hurt the price of my top selection.
That's fair enough. And even looking at your top selection, maybe 1 for 27, but 8 seconds.
Yeah.
So there we have it. I like that trend that you picked up on your top selection there. Let's touch in on your other top selections as we go to lightning round. Keith, let's touch on your best bet, kicking off in race number 5 in 8-5, ace 9-9 for David Howard and J. Ron Barbosa.
I just, the train is rolling right now for ace 9-9, and they found his whole card. It doesn't matter, fast track, sloppy track. Got the better of Paradise Pride a couple races back. And looking at, envisioning this trip again, I think Barbosa is going to be able to drop inside. Money in the bank, so we'll just kind of probably go out there. Other than that, we'll sit up and get that stalk and pounce kind of trip inside, hopefully inside just to the out to get it done.
You also have your value play in race at number 8. I know Maps, 6-1, Salvaggio Caramanos going against that Brittany Russell runner.
Yeah, I just think the one's going to be overbet.
Yep.
This horse has handled adversity before, showed a good running debut because of it, has improved second time out against a horse that came back to gallop. We talked about his running style. The run's got to be timed just right. I think we'll get it done today. First or second here for I Know Map. Don't leave that the Susan Cooney horse in your exactas and tries as well.
Especially it was what, 20 to 1, 30 to 1?
15.
Yes, 15.
Something like
Yep.
that, yeah.
So there we go. Keith Fustel eagle-eyeing a nice value play there in race number 8 potentially. Let's talk about, so that had a Brittany Russell horse. Let's talk about another Brittany Russell horse. And also kind of a PSA, meaning Edie's new Christmas gift. A potential, her next big horse will probably be Wonder Where Craig Is. Of course, a big time stalwart runner here over for Brittany Russell. He's a winner of 3 different two listed stakes races, and of course won the Bold Ruler. And this was her first graded stakes winner. So she knew, she always knew that this horse was going to have a safe space to land on, which I didn't. And you kind of expect that with the owners that Brittany does have, but I just didn't expect her to say, "Hey, this might be Edie's first big horse." So of course, just coming back off of that layoff, he just wasn't the same. He retired sound and healthy, but just doing a nice honor by him.
Yeah, well deserved. I mean, he was tough. Well, he'd run you off your feet when he was at the top of his game. He'd run you off your feet, or he could just come from just off of it and battle you through the lane. He was fun to watch. Looking for his new career.
That'll be fun. Over a $500,000 winner there for Wonder Where Craig Is, and we will be excited to see his second potential career either as Edie's first horse or a track pony for the Russell Barn. And we will leave it at that for Dave Rodman to give us some more changes and scratches.
All right, good luck.